Welcome back to It's Technically Romance, where we take a look at Hallmark movies from our different perspectives. Mine being the hopeless romantic.
And mine being the cynical cinephile.
And tonight we are talking about An Unexpected Christmas.
Oh, yes, we are. And I think we need to bring an unexpected Christmas in with a cheers, a toast, if you will.
Cheers.
Cheers. They drink a lot of brown liquor in this movie, so we felt it very appropriate to do the same.
Yes, also appropriate to wear unexpected Christmas sweaters.
That's true. That is true. I don't even know where to start with this one. I guess we'll start where we normally start, but there's so much. I'm gonna warn you right now. This might be a long one.
I know. I was a little calm when I said the movie that we were talking about, but I am anything but calm right now. So.
Well, let's start this off with Stephanie.
Yes, Hamilton. I just realized I did not take a sip of my drink after we toasted.
She has cursed this podcast.
So,
hurry up, drink, please. We need to fix this curse that you've placed upon us. This Christmas curse.
This is gonna be the worst podcast.
It might be. Something's gonna go wrong. I don't know. Is my audio okay? I don't know. Stephanie.
Yes, Hamilton.
What did you think of An Unexpected Christmas? Is this a film that you'd want to watch again with the snow gently falling outside? Maybe
yes.
The sound of jingle. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. I didn't even need to finish.
I'm sorry. Finish.
No. We got it. You definitely want to watch this one again. Is that what you're saying?
I have already watched it again, and I look forward to seeing it again many, many more times. But I really would love to hear the rest of your snow falling, jingle bells.
No, it's gone. The moment is past. Moment's past.
So, Hamilton.
Mm-hmm, yes.
I pose the same question to you. Would you?
Yes.
Want to? Oh.
No, I definitely would watch this movie again. We've actually have watched it again because we were so busy live tweeting, and it was really hard to take notes last night because we were watching the movie, and it's crazy. Like I was drawn into this one.
Enthralled.
I was very much enthralled.
Yeah.
This one is an extremely special one, and it's definitely going to be a Hallmark classic, in my opinion. I'm going to call it right now. This one's going to be a Hallmark classic.
Yeah. It definitely will. It's already, I would say, considered a classic in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that all other movies will follow suit. This is like a beacon of what all I think like Christmas romantic comedies should be. I love the ones that have the extra bits of humor. It just special is a great word for this one.
Totally agree. The only downside I think was the Balsam Hill product placement twice in this movie. But you can't have...
That's classic Hallmark for you.
Can't have a classic Hallmark without a little Balsam Hill or Campbell's soup. So, or Folgers. We haven't seen a good Folgers one. So that was the only thing where they went over the box twice. Other than that, I think this movie was just about flawless, in my personal opinion.
No, I would agree. And I don't mind a little Balsam Hill action in there. Not at all. They're definitely deserving. So
why don't we go ahead and do this right, and let's go ahead and jump into this plot summary.
Yes.
I hope it's as classic as this film's going to be.
It's short and sweet because I know we got a lot of terrain to cover here.
We should even stop talking right now. Let's do it.
Let's just forget the plot summary. For those who may have not seen this movie, what is wrong with you? What are you waiting for?
You're coming out swinging hard pretty early.
Maybe you had something like detrimental that
it was Thanksgiving weekend.
So in case you haven't seen it yet, this is a quick plot summary for you. Jamie and Emily are exes who unexpectedly end up spending Christmas together, pretending to still be dating for the sake of Jamie's family's happiness. Mm-hmm. They work out a deal that also helps out Emily's career, but time spent together proves to be easier than they thought, realizing the love they shared never really went away.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not my best.
No, I like it. It has a little Christmas sparkle to it.
Christmas sparkle.
Christmas sparkle.
Just like the sparkle pony in this movie.
Sparkle pony?
Well, we'll get to that.
The unicorn? Sparkle pony. From now on, all unicorns will be called sparkle ponies.
Well, Tyler Hynes posted something on his Instagram where there's like looked like a director's chair type setup for cast members, and it said Sparkle Pony.
I love that. I'm serious.
I don't know if that's the name he gave it, or I'm not sure, but I liked it, so I'm running with it.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about our leads here, because I mean, we've got some big names. Two
main leads here. And I would say, which this is we
always do this. We do this every time. Really, there's more than two leads.
No. That's not what I was going to say. A little irregular for Hallmark is that they start out the movie with the male lead, which isn't always the case, which isn't usually the case. So already it's a little unexpected. And then we open the movie with Tyler Hynes, as I mentioned.
It's a great shot too. We have, again, you guys have been noticing this. You get the tree shot, tree in the foreground, you push past it right into the scene. You're going to notice it every time you watch these movies. It is a classic shot that's happening.
Yes, I also have to say the font choices for this movie I do not think went. I would have liked something a little more fun.
I will push back on that. I will push back on the font choice.
Push away.
I think that they went for the classic, almost Victorian style lettering. We've got big serifs on there. I actually enjoyed the font choice they went with this.
But do you think it fit this movie?
Because they were kind of playing off of the classic Christmas tale, but updated.
Okay.
So it was almost like a juxtaposition between the serif kind of classic Victorian font versus this new story they're trying to tell, I think.
Okay.
Maybe they don't think about font choice. Maybe they're just like, you know what? Hey, this looks cool. Throw it on there. But I would argue that.
Okay. I'll go with that. But yes, the lovely, wonderful Tyler Hynes, who plays Jamie in this movie. Jamie's an interesting character. One that I would say I feel like when we were live tweeting, I also had mentioned, I feel like this is Tyler Hynes' most relatable character. He's not perfect by any means. He's he's kind of like an anxious character. He's dealing with some self-doubt and
very insecure.
Yeah.
This is not, you're right, he's extremely relatable. This is not the typical role we see for Hynes, who usually plays like the cool, self-confident persona. And so to see him in this position was a little jarring at first for me. It took me a little bit to get used to Jamie, but about a quarter of the way through, I was there for it. It was... I truly believe this was probably his best role. And I think that has a lot to do with him. I think that has a lot to do with the writing and also the direction of this film, and also his leading lady as well. Just everything seemed to come together in this film perfectly for him, and he just knocked it out of the park for me.
Yes. I would agree. This is my favorite role that he's done as well. I feel like he just was meant for this character. I feel like he just really shined. We got to see a different side of him, like a much more humorous, sort of like quirky side, I would say.
Yeah, I was actually getting really big sort of Chandler Bing vibes from him. Like there were a few scenes where it seemed very, very much like Chandler, and it felt like he was channeling him. I don't know if you caught that.
Channeling Chandler.
Channeling Chandler. No, for real. Even when he's arguing with his sister about the play, it felt very, very Chandler-esque.
Yeah, I once you said that, I was like, okay, yeah, I could see it. And we do have, like, Tyler Hynes always does bring like a bit of wit with him. I feel like he can do that really well, but this was just like an extra little push that someone kind of pushed him out of his maybe comfort zone. And I just felt like I said the word shine before, but I really did feel like he shined in this movie with this character and this story. And yeah, I loved every second of it.
But he wasn't the only one shining. He was
No,
not the only one
sorry,
shining.
Bob. You know, we've talked about her on the podcast before. I'm a big fan outside of Hallmark also, but that is Bethany Joy Lenz, who plays Emily. And boy, did she play Emily. I mean...
This performance.
I feel like a lot of the leading female leads, a lot of the newer movies, they've been adding so much more like life and character,
a lot of depth
into these women, and I applaud, you know, all who had a hand in it, because this character I just adored.
Yeah.
I'm channeling Emily tonight, you know, with my whiskey and my curly hair. One of my favorite things that, I don't know if this was a call that, you know, Bethany did, or the director, or who decided to have her natural curly hair in this movie. But when I saw the posters and the first pictures of it, and I saw she was going to have her naturally curly hair, I was just so excited. Like, I don't think people realize like how it's not common at all. Not just Hallmark, but like any movies in general, for women to have curly hair, like naturally curly hair. I don't know why. And I know a lot of women in my life that have curly hair, they always straighten it. Like, a lot of women just who have curly hair, they don't let their hair stay curly. And I don't know why. Society, maybe.
Society. It's always society. Always society.
But I was so happy with her hair in this movie, and I saw a lot of people commenting. Sorry, I'm going on about the hair, but this is a big deal for me.
It is.
Because
Truth.
I don't see a lot of women with curly hair in film, or, you know, in life. So, sure. A lot of people were commenting on it, and I know they were complimenting it, but they were calling her hair imperfect. And it made me sad, because it's like, why would you call it imperfect? Like, that's not the word I would choose. Like, we need to use a different word, people, because that's just her hair. Like, it's not that it's imperfect. That's her hair. It's just different. It's not flat ironed or straightened, or, you know, like curled with a curling brush. Like, that's her natural hair. So yeah, I think it's beautiful. I used to hate my curly hair. I love it now. But yeah, bravo for showing curly hair.
Yeah, for real. It's very, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to see. You're absolutely right. It's something, until you brought it up, that I was like, you're absolutely right. I never see curly hair in films. Like,
and
it's wild.
Isn't that wild?
It's super wild.
Like, how is that even a normal thing? But yeah, lots of people were complimenting her hair. Just
in a very odd way.
In a very odd way. But
no, she was, yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, this character, you were mentioning how, you know, Tyler's usually the cool, collected, like, put together one. Like, to me, it was like switch. So this is who Emily was.
Yeah.
Like, she was so cool. Like, I feel like this is one of maybe like the coolest Hallmark characters we've had.
Yeah, for sure.
She wears leather jackets. And...
Oh, no, she wore that quilted jacket. It looked like a grandmother quilt jacket. Like, I was in love with this jacket. Like, I wanted this jacket. It was gorgeous. I
was in love with everything she wore. The costuming. Oh my God. I know that it was done by the Wardrobe Girls. They are fantastic. I started following them on Instagram. I loved the costuming in here. I loved all of her outfits. To me, it made her character that much more like believable. Yeah. Just like seeing the uniqueness that she had, and like she had actual style.
Yeah.
It was just so fun to see.
And speaking with Nathan Michael Fletcher, who is a costumer for Hallmark, he didn't do this film, but he has done some others. He really opened my eyes to how important it is to dress these characters appropriately. It adds so much realism to it. It is so important. And I believed it. I believed these characters because of it. Jamie, towards the end of this film, has his shirt kind of untucked a little bit from his belt.
French tuck.
Yeah, a little French tuck. It's a little bit sloppy too, and I appreciate that because he's in a little bit of a shambles towards the end of the film. Little details like that. He's got these beautiful chunky sweaters. Just everything was just done beautifully for that. And again, we're going to be gushing about this, so just sit back and relax. But
buckle up
for the gush. But yeah, no, the costume was wonderful, and Bethany Joy Lenz just absolutely crushed this role. And yeah, I love these two together, and I love them separate, and just it was magic. This movie is magic. Without having magic, this movie is magic.
I mean, I would say there's maybe a little Christmas magic that brings them together, you know.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
you could call it coincidence, or you could say
it's a pretty big coincidence. You're absolutely right. I mean, this movie starts off, and you know, we'll talk about our meet cute here.
It could be the magic of the sparkle pony. Also.
It could be the magic of the sparkle pony. I mean, it is really ridiculous when you break it down. It is kind of ridiculous that she would be going to a job. They're both in Chicago, I'm guessing, right? They're both in Chicago. It is kind of ridiculous when you break it down that they would both be in Jamie's hometown for Christmas. You know, she's going for work. He's going for family. It is a little ridiculous. I didn't care. It didn't bother me. I just let it slide. And that they would both be arriving at the exact same time.
Christmas magic?
Christmas magic. So you're right. There is a little Christmas magic here. But yes, they both arrived at the exact same time. And it's hilarity ensues. This is a proper meet cute right here.
We have to also give credit to, and because we're going to be singing the praises of everyone involved in this. But
yes, we will.
Not only was the casting incredible, but they were given a nugget of gold.
Nugget of gold.
Gold nuggets.
Okay.
If you will, of words from
a gold. I'm sorry. I just want to back a gold nugget of words.
Nuggets of gold.
Nuggets of gold. Words. Sure.
Sure. Okay. From the one and only Paul Campbell.
Yep. Our favorite.
I mean, yes. If you obviously we've talked about him ad nauseum on this podcast, and I am just so darn happy that he's joined the writing team amongst the Hallmark writers.
Yes, and
we got a taste of it with Christmas by Starlight.
Yep, that was his first one, right?
With Kimberly Sested, fantastic film, and now he's doing writing. So this story was actually created by Gregory McGoon, and then Paul Campbell wrote the actual screenplay, the script. So, I mean, I knew I was expecting greatness already, but I mean, he just really went above and beyond. I feel like the wit, the energy, I just felt like this script had so much energy. The characters were just so full of life, especially Emily's character. But just, it was a whole family affair. I feel like we've been seeing that a lot in these movies.
We really have.
Is that it's just really a whole cast effort. And yes, we have our leads, but I mean, the whole family, they were all just fantastic. And I felt like it just makes it that much more fun when you have all of these people involved and they're all so good at their parts and their jobs. And yeah, this is that Hallmark magic that we talk about, where it feels like the stars all align and everything works. And that's what this movie was.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was fantastic. You talk about the family. Jamie's sister, who's played by Alison Wanzera, wonderful. I mean, she was awesome. She was awesome too. I mean, everyone was just great. Oh, and we even have a personal favorite of mine, going back to the good old Hallmark days. Paul McGillian, who plays Jamie's father, just a treasure. I love this man. He is fantastic, and he's great in this film too. So, and also the mom and just everyone. Again, we're gonna be just gushing over this film because it's not every day you get a film like this. So allow us to gush. Because there's so much good here.
So much good.
So the meet cute. We need to actually talk about the film itself.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the
We're
film
just going to run down the cast and the crew.
This person
real
did
quick.
great. This person. The gaffer. Great gaffing.
Yeah. Way to gaff.
Way to gaff. They meet cute, so they bump into each other.
It's a Ryu meet cute.
It's a Ryu meet cute. A Ryu meet cute. Again,
we've coined that term.
Yeah. We also coined, Bethany Jo Lenz actually helped us coin the chiss, which is the cheek kiss.
Yes, in Bottled with Love, we talk about it, and we said we needed a kiss that's like, it's like in the middle of the lip and the cheek, and she coined it a chiss for us. So
we don't get a chiss here. We get some other stuff, but not a chiss.
Sorry.
So they all come into the train station at the same time, and hilarity ensues because basically Jamie hasn't told his family that Emily and him have broken up. They've been not seeing each other for I think 2.5 months. Something like that. They were dating for 2 years. They broke up. They haven't seen each other for 2.5 months. They bump into each other at the train station, but Jamie's sister Becca is there and assumes that Emily's coming home for Christmas.
The whole family's questioning, is she coming? She hasn't come home for Christmas yet, or she hasn't come to their home for Christmas yet. And so they're all wondering, and he's just avoiding, you know, like,
and because
like
of
Jamie
his avoidance.
does.
Because, I mean, Jamie is, in a lot of ways, he's an extremely flawed character. We talked about this before. He doesn't like the confrontation of this because, you know, his grandfather's passed away. And he doesn't want to ruin Christmas for his family because his family loves Emily.
And they love Christmas.
And they love Christmas because the grandfather loved Christmas. And so there's all these conflicting things. And this grandfather plot line that goes throughout this film is done beautifully. Like, there's just little nods and hints to it. It doesn't overtake the story. It's just sort of the undercurrent throughout the entire film. And it motivates a lot of the characters and a lot of their actions. It's beautifully done. And I definitely have to tip my hat to Paul Campbell for that because that was great.
Tip your beanie.
Tip my beanie to Paul Campbell for that. And so basically Becca and Jamie's father kidnap Emily, like essentially kidnap her from the train station and force her to go home. And it's so awkward and wonderful. And man, it was great. It was a classic, beautifully done meet cute.
It all happened so suddenly, and that's like the best part, because when I saw the previews, I was like, I don't understand. Like,
how does this happen?
In my mind, she already knew, and she was playing along. But this was so much better. She just shows up at the same time, and the sister just assumes, and then she just gets swept away with the family, and she's kind of just, what is she supposed to do? I kept trying to put myself in Emily's shoes during this whole movie. Like, what would I do? Because I'm like, would I have just gone along with it? Or would I said something right from the start? But I kind of feel like I probably would have done what she did, because you just like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Well, she says she doesn't want to be on the train tracks when when they find out the truth. You know, she wants to be off those train tracks.
Yeah, and as well she should, because that, you know, that's all Jamie. He made the bed, and he needs to lie in it.
Right, because he's so flawed. But as soon as he says it's for the grandfather, the reason the grandfather's passing, she kind of understands the reasoning behind it.
Well, I think partly it is true, but I also think he just didn't want to deal with the fact that they weren't together anymore. You know, I think there is that underlying, like, he's still in love with her, and, you know. Yeah,
I mean, we see him at the beginning of the film kind of take her coffee cup and put it to the top shelf finally and like turn it around. So and that's 2.5 months, and it takes him 2.5 months to take that coffee cup away. So yes, I think you're right. He is still hurting.
Also, very neat apartment, Jamie. I commend him on that. But
well, there's that.
Speaking of the cup in his cupboard, I mean, this is kind of scandalous for Hallmark, right? Because a cup in his cupboard is insinuating they live together.
I did not make that connection. It's possible. I think.
I mean, I would think. I don't.
It's like you're saying. It's
I don't have
it's like
mug.
The toothbrush. It's like having the toothbrush in the bathroom kind of deal.
Yeah, but it's a mug. So like with her initials. So I mean, maybe he bought her a mug for his place that she drinks when she comes over.
In the mornings.
Yeah, I took
Early in the
it.
morning,
I
just
took it
here's
as
your coffee.
they were together 2 years. They lived together,
Yeah.
and there's a mug that's left over with her initials. And so I just felt like, this was very progressive for Hallmark.
I think so, and
Because I mean, they never sleep in the same bed or room or anything if they're not married.
Right.
So the fact that they possibly live together is, breaking new Hallmark ground.
and this movie did do some, kept pushing the boundaries. Yeah, I could see that. In his apartment, speaking of his apartment being so orderly, there's this great scene in the film where they're on a park bench in the city. Jamie's kind of taking her through the town and they're touring it, and they really, they share their vulnerabilities and they kind of connect here. And this is kind of really a turning point for me in the film. And Emily says this great line to Jamie where, he talks about how he was kind of made fun of, and she says maybe that's why everything has to be so perfect for you, because if everything is so perfect for you, then there's nothing that people can poke fun at for you. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And that explains a lot about, Jamie's character. And I think that explains why his apartment is so neat, because he can't be made fun of if everything is in its place.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the ornaments on his tree are like perfectly placed, and like it just was kind of crazy to me. But yeah, that was just like a little sneak peek into why he is
the way he is.
Yeah, the way he is. But yeah, there are so many funny lines in this movie. There are a lot of touching ones or poignant ones that poignant.
Yep, poignant. Nailed it in one.
That word's always so weird for me. That I love, but like I mentioned earlier, the humor really, really spoke to my humor. Like I was enjoying the humor in this movie. Just I'm gonna run the gamut just a little bit, because we could go through every entire scene, but things I'm thinking of when she first gets there, and it's like the family's all so excited she's there, and she's like, Jamie, I need to talk to you in the kitchen. And he starts going to take a bite of a cookie, and she just smacks that cookie out of his
That's so
hand.
good. It says cool.
She's like, cool. What's going on now? Yes, we talk about actors and actresses that like act with their whole bodies and facial expressions and everything. And Bethany Joy is just, I mean, phenomenal with the facial expressions. Like, she puts her literally her whole body into this performance. Her freaking out on the porch, when
the angry like dance like tantrum, that's awesome too.
Splashing the water in Tyler's face, like that scene was so great. And just like the script, I think we mentioned it live tweeting, because she's like having to lie to his family, and she's like, I've been dancing this deceitful dirty jig.
I've been dancing, Jamie. I've been dancing this deceitful dirty jig all morning. And it's beautiful alliteration and just hilarious, because you don't hear that. Dancing a deceitful dirty jig. Like, who says that?
Paul Campbell
says it. And it just works for her character, works for that scene. It's magic.
It is magic.
But, I think the funniest scene that I think we both loved is the restaurant scene. That to me is just prime time comedy. Like, just hilarious. Like, I just want to go back and watch that scene again and again and again. I don't know how many takes it took. I want to interview everyone that had a hand in this film just to find out all the ins and outs of it, because how many takes was this? This was just gold.
I know when we've had technical interviews where they say dinner scenes are really hard to film. So I can only imagine, I don't know, how many takes this one took. But this movie is so good, because I feel like, talk about rewatch value, I feel like you could watch this movie so many times and probably catch something different that you maybe missed every time, because the dialogue is so fast, and like there is a lot going on. Because even like there was stuff that I missed when we watched it the second time. And just like funny little lines, like just like little quips and details in this movie. It's just it's so much fun for the viewer. And
well, they're like little sprinkles that they put in there. Like there's this line that Emily says in the very beginning of the film when she gets, her job, and she says that, this project needs more work than the Coliseum. And then later on in the film, about more than halfway through, Jamie says, Rome wasn't built in a day. And so we have these two people saying the same kind of thing. And it just shows you how connected they are, that they're the same type of person, even though they're so different. So little details like that are just beautiful in this film. There's a ton of them.
Yeah, I have to say the relationship between Jamie and Emily it's one of my favorites that I've seen because their interactions, their relationship to me was just like so believable, and like I felt the energy between these two was just, it was like electric. Like it was like electric, but at the same time it just felt so natural and like easy. Like I totally believed that they were in a relationship for 2 years, and I loved the back and forth and how she's kind of like, pissed at him like during this whole time, as she should be. And just it just felt like it felt so easy, like just them being together.
No, it really did, and we see that on the walk through the town, and just so natural. And even when they're at the jazz bar, and just their conversations. And I keep going back to that walk through the town, where they walk through the town and they sit on that bench. For some reason, this scene keeps standing out to me. And there's this great moment where they exit the coffee shop, and as Emily exits, she almost bumps into someone kind of entering. She says, "Oh, sorry," and it's such a minor thing. But when she does that, it immediately makes her so real to me. It makes this character so believable. I don't know what it is, but I always say this. It's the little things. And this character just saying sorry as she passes someone by coming inside the coffee shop is everything to me.
Well, I'll raise you the bump and excuse me to her taking off her shoe, asking Jamie to take her coffee. So she actually takes off her boot, and you're like, what is going on? And she's kind of like shaking it, like there's like a rock stuck in it or some sort of like thing that's bothering her. Like, how relatable and real is that? Like detail, like how often does that happen where you're like, oh, something in my shoe that she literally like, and I wonder, is that something that the director came up with, or was that in the script, or did she just like ad lib that? Like,
I don't know, but we need to shout out the director, because I don't think we did.
Absolutely. The director is Michael Robison, who also directed It Was Always You. So he works well with Tyler. Our DP was also Adam Slawinski, who we just spoke highly of for 5 more minutes, who worked on Window Wonderland. And so Paul Campbell, it's like all in the family here.
It is. I mean, these are, it definitely is. And, just real quick on technical, since you brought up the DP, the lighting in this movie, oh my goodness, it is phenomenal. No issues whatsoever. His use of window light, natural light, just excellent. Again, we have window light coming in from the side, a little bit of that tungsten yellow here. Just, you have a touch of fill. You don't want to blow this out. And
Would you call it a window wonderland?
Wow. No, I would not, because that is embarrassing for both of us. I
thought it was pretty good.
But no, he did awesome. He did absolutely awesome. And again, the camera work was great. And you guys will start to notice the tree shots. Believe you me, you'll notice them.
And yes, just to go off of details, and
please.
I mean, like I said, we could literally talk about every scene.
And we will, so stay tuned. This is going to be a 5-hour podcast. Sit back and relax. We're going over scene by scene, moment by moment.
5 hours.
We're going to talk about the she shed? I feel like I'm getting some she shed vibes from you.
No, I was going to talk about the jazz club.
Ooh,
so the jazz club, I love this scene. Like we have obviously the jazz. So we've got the music. We've got the drinks.
Yeah. Oh. Got the drinks.
We've got the drinks. Oh.
Yeah, you have to drink after the cheers.
No more bad luck.
That's how that works.
We've got the touching. She's like touching him like
Constantly,
a lot.
yeah.
We've got the Andrew Walker, just like all of these little
Whoa,
details.
you can't just say we just have the Andrew Walker. We haven't even talked about the Andrew Walker cameo.
Well, I'm talking about the jazz club. These are the details that are happening in the jazz club. These little details, they just really make a movie, just a little sprinkle of Andrew Walker here and there.
Yeah, anytime you can have Andrew Walker in here, it's all in the details. All in the details.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk about it?
I mean, we might as well.
Yeah.
We might. Everyone else is going to be talking about it. We might as well talk about Andrew Walker.
Well, I'm a little salty with Hallmark.
Well, I'm even more salty because here's what I did. I post on Twitter. I'm like, I bet you're going to get an Andrew Walker cameo. 15 seconds after I make that post, Hallmark comes out and shows the clip of Andrew Walker. And this is before the movie starts. This is at 7:35. And I'm just blown away. I'm like, why would you give that up? The best part about these cameos
is this a surprise?
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's like a surprise. And so Hallmark ruining that kind of gave me a little bit of salt. Just like you. Yeah,
no, definitely. That was the cameo where Tyler is in my Christmas family tree. Mm-hmm. My family Christmas tree? No, my Christmas family tree.
You got it.
That's what was so fun about that. Yeah. Yes, getting to see Tyler's face, but also that we were not expecting it. So
like that never happened. That never happened.
Never. So I was not expecting Andrew. You kind of thought, oh, that would be funny if Andrew was in Tyler's movie. Right. And I was like, yeah, that would be funny, but I seriously doubt it.
No, I knew it.
I was not thinking that. But then it was spoiled. So it was kind of like, oh man, it would have been so much better if I hadn't already known. Mm-hmm. But it was still pretty fantastic.
It was great. I mean, they have that interaction, and it looks like Tyler's like about to crack up. Like Andrew plays it cool. He plays it cool. He even gives like a little wave to his table over there. We never see the table that he's walking to. It's some magic table off in the distance.
I was hoping he was gonna like go on stage. He was gonna be part of the band, but no.
But we love this. We love that they're building this, this Marvel universe of Hallmark actors. Just cameos, like it's awesome.
It's my favorite. Yeah. I love it so much, and let's keep it going. But yeah, again, back to Little Romance, the touching. This is one of my favorite things about Emily's character and like this whole dynamic between her and Jamie is like there's a lot of touching. Like just she's like she'll like playfully push him, or she like will grab his shoulder and like touch his arm, like. Yeah. It's just so comfortable, it's like she's just fallen back into the norm, like how they were. And it feels so genuine to me. And I loved it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what she says. She's like, I feel like we're on our first date again. Like, I feel like we're dating early. And yeah, the touching was very noticeable and just, it felt natural.
And we get a kiss, like pretty soon on in the movie.
Well, it's one of those forced, awkward mistletoe kisses.
It didn't seem awkward.
Apparently, you're right. I guess it wasn't awkward. You're right. Apparently, the dad's just walking around with a fishing rod of mistletoe.
As you do.
I don't know. I mean, this happens in these films all the time. Who is walking around with mistletoe? Where can we find them? I mean, this is wild to me. But
we actually have mistletoe above us.
It's super cute.
You can't see it.
But yeah, the kiss, it's beautiful. And it's from the side. It's from the side. You get this nice little slow, romantic, tender moment. What did you think of this kiss? I mean, it is a kiss in the movie, so let's rate this one up.
Oh, it was nice. It was a nice kiss. Campfire meter, if you want to go there, I would say sparks for sure. It was very gentle.
Tender.
It's a tender kiss. The parents are right there, but normally these like forced ones where they're like kiss, kiss, kiss. This one didn't feel that way. It was kind of just cute that they were like, you guys are together, so this is normal. And they didn't make a big thing of it. They kind of looked at each other and were just like, okay,
we do this.
And they did it. But the look on Emily's face when they pull apart, just to me said it all. It's like, oh girl, you're in trouble.
Yep.
You are in trouble. Like obviously she's still in it, and why wouldn't you be? I do have to say though, I could understand her still being in love with him, but she seems to like just take it very easy, like to come into this whole situation. Yes, there's a little bit of pushback, but also like he broke up with her.
Right.
I feel like I don't know quite how it ended, like how messy it was.
It was a phone call. Remember? Because she's like,
oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, and I'm glad I left the meeting to take that phone call. Like, it was a phone call. They broke up. She was devastated. But I think the reason why it is so easy, because she does try to remove herself very early on. And we have that great scene where Tyler's in the car. And I love this, too, the fact that we know why they broke up so early in the film. Because, Jamie's in the car, and he's like, her career was taking off, and mine was going nowhere, and I just couldn't keep up, and I didn't want to hold her back. We get that very early on, and so we're able to connect with Jamie's character like right away because of that. I thought that was very clever. So it is difficult for her, but it's so easy to fall into that space.
Yeah. And then this leads us to the she shed.
Oh, yes.
The talk. So Becca.
I mean,
wonderful Becca. Yeah. She's got a garden shed that she calls Becca's she shed. And it's like programmed to her voice, a voice activated when she walks in. And she's got popcorn in her toolbox. Like, I don't know, this woman, like, I want her to be my new best friend, and we hang out in the she shed. But it's where she takes Jamie for the confession,
because she knows something's up.
She's very wise.
She is wise.
She's the wise sister, and she says this great line. So he's telling her that, I didn't want to hold her back. Her career was taking off. And she's like, so he's like, yeah, I didn't want to hold her back. And she's like, well, now you're not holding her at all. Ooh.
It's a truth bomb. It's a truth bomb just dropped on Jamie.
Truth bomb in the she shed. and yeah, I feel like it takes him a little long to like come around. It's like he knows it, but
he's so insecure about himself. That it's not that he doesn't want to. He just has these insecurities, and it really takes Becca again to just shake him from it, because that's her job as a sister, to kind of help him see where he's falling to pieces. And she does.
Thank God for Becca.
For Becca, yeah. But I mean, the she shed. I mean, we have this shed. Might be the best shed since Journey Back to Christmas. It might be. The shed, maybe it can time travel. I don't know. We're not sure. I was joking, maybe, with a shooting star, and we do get a shooting star in this film. So it felt like a nice throwback to that shed in that film, the time traveling shed.
Ooh, maybe we'll get a sequel where Jamie goes into the she shed and the shooting star comes, and then he travels back in time to where he never breaks up with Emily.
Oh, and it's just more good lines and more comedy and just great times. So one of the things that I really loved about this, and I didn't realize I would like this until it happening, but there's a lot of conversations with the entire family, and they're like talking over each other. It's like a real family where there's so many conversations happening across each other, and it's chaotic, but it's beautiful. And I was like, why are they doing that? And it wasn't until the second time watching this, and again, this is why you watch this film multiple times, that Emily says that she's wanted a family like this with all the noise and all the chaos. And so the fact that they added that in here, another detail, the fact they added that, it's just brilliant to me. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that was really touching, that, she tells a little bit of her story, that kind of military family. So she moved around a lot, and she didn't really have, a place to call home. And so this was like, feeling like home to her, and she's having the normal Christmas family activities and everything. So, and it's so wonderful how his family you just can tell how much they love her, and they keep saying like, oh, you're family, like we love you so much, and this is your home. And
oh yeah, I mean, that wonderful scene that she has with the mom, where they're both painting, and the mom basically says that, she says that you'll always have a home here with us, and it's great, It's just a great little touching scene. And I mean, again, the family does love her to the point where even Becca was like, you know, if you don't marry her, I will, because she needs to be in this family. Like, that's how much they love her, and she is incredible.
One scene, though, real quick, I want to say was really special as far as romance is. So it kind of like it's like an extension. So there's like a few little parts, and it's all. It's the whole movie is what I'm.
The whole movie. Can we just talk about the romance in the whole
movie? It kind of extends where he's like taking her around, and then they end up back at the house, and they're at the fire pit. They're having some drinks outside. There's like an enormous Christmas tree there, with like a bunch of homemade ornaments.
An outdoor Christmas tree.
Yeah, and she's looking at the ornaments, and she's like, "Oh, these are so wonderful," and just a great line. She's like, "It's like a map of your childhood and everything," and like she didn't have anything like that. And this scene, she's looking at an ornament with young Jamie's picture on it. And, you know, we get that funny line where she's like, well, who's this? I don't know. It looks maybe like a young model or something like that. And the way she is looking at him in the scene and like talking about him.
And his eyes.
It's just the sweetest, like most sincere thing. Like you can just see the love that she has for him, like the way she's talking about him, and just that she, you know, admires him so much. And I don't know. I just thought that was such a special scene. And then it leads to one of my favorite scenes is he takes her to the fountain.
Yeah.
Where, you know, he shows her she's needing some inspiration, and he just like, oh, this is the place, you know, for her campaign, her, you know, big job thing. And so he takes her to the fountain where there's all these stones. And like the people of the town, after they get married, they write their initials on the stones and they throw them in the water. And so he shows her it, and he helps her with her like slogan and everything. And it's wonderful. And then this is why I love her character so much. Like, she's just so much fun, so full of life. She's so excited. And she like jumps up and she just starts running around the fountain. And then like they jump down, and then they just like start dancing. Like the scene was so kind of like kooky, and it was just so much fun. And then like turned into this like super romantic sort of like, well, not sort of, this super romantic dancing scene. And it was just, it was like, to me, like what dreams are made of. Like, like the old movies, like them dancing, and there's like a fountain. But
yeah, it did have a very old movie vibe. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it did. It had that vibe there, and it was a really beautiful scene. And it's interesting though, because I thought they would do a callback to that, to the stones or something. I thought they would, you know, end the film with them writing their initials on the stone or something. You know.
Yeah, that maybe would have been nice. Like, because he says after they get married. So, but maybe that's a sequel.
Let's hope so. I do want to say, though, there's a line in this film where Jamie's character is talking about buying socks for his dad, and Emily is not having it.
Socks. Oh, I thought you said stocks.
No, stocks and socks. No, just socks. And I have to say, because there's a lot of talk about this, socks are a great gift. I love socks. Give me a very well-made pair of socks. I'm a happy camper. And we're live tweeting about this. Tyler sent us a pair of socks that he was wearing because he
picture. He didn't like ship us socks.
Ship us socks.
I mean,
picture of
that would have been
some very
cool
well-made
too.
socks he was wearing. And it just goes to show you that socks make a great gift. So all you out there hating on socks, buy socks this year.
Oh, I think we got a lot of love for socks on that post. So, yeah, some people may hate on it, but I do think there are also a lot of people out there that appreciate socks.
I hope so. Let's keep this trend going. Let's keep the sock trend going.
I love a good sock. Well, socks, you know.
And stocks and socks. You know, we really didn't talk about the dinner scene. We mentioned the dinner scene and how it's one of the best scenes in the film, but we didn't really talk about it. I mean, we're doing a disservice to probably the best scene in this film. Let's talk about the dinner scene.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We got turned around somewhere. There's just so much goodness to talk about. But the dinner scene, oh my goodness. Yes. It was, I think we were both just like cracking up, laughing. And this is one of those things that I could probably watch over and over again because there is like a lot of talking. There's a lot of commotion going on. And it is fantastic. So they see the waiter that they saw at the jazz club where, you know, Emily gets a little tipsy and confesses their little fraudulent scheme that's happening. So they see the waiter there and he's like, oh, I think I recognize you. And Jamie goes into like a tailspin and he's just freaking out. And he's like, oh my gosh, like I have to do whatever I have to do to get this man to stop talking. So he just starts violently shaking the table. And he's like, oh my gosh, this is it's a wobbly table. There's
This table has quite the wobble.
So he dives under the table and then Emily dives under with him and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, we have to like fix this. And like this whole scene is just perfection.
Yeah.
My favorite part is when he sees the waiter walking around the table and he's like, look at his feet. Look at his little sabotaging feet walking around. Oh my God. And then he's like telling his sister, like, we have to take care of him.
They all have menus up. It's great. It's brilliant.
It's perfection.
Wonderful. All the words we've been using throughout this entire podcast. It's all of those. Yeah, I could watch this scene over and over again. Just great direction. Because dinner scenes are hard to film. I need to know how long it took to film this scene. Because I don't know. It seems like it would be a very difficult scene to shoot, difficult scene to direct. But everyone just nailed their marks.
Yeah, they crushed it. And I just loved seeing Tyler in this role. Like he just looked so much fun. Like he looked like he was having so much fun. Everyone did, honestly. But I just loved seeing him kind of like go a little crazy.
Just a touch.
But yeah, great scene.
Well, let's talk just real quick, a little technical, because I always harp on green screens because they're not done well generally. This movie had a budget. This movie had a very big budget, and you can tell in the way that it was lit, the way that the sound, like everything, just great, right? The green screen in this film was also just well done. When Tyler's on the train, there's that shot of him on his laptop trying to come up with a speech. You know, it's lit beautifully coming in from the window. That window shot is a green screen. So that country shot out there is a green screen. It doesn't look green screen to me. It looks like a real shot. So that's what happens when you have budget. When you have budget and can shoot something well, it just makes it so much better. It just great.
Yeah, I love train scenes in general. But yeah, I didn't, because when you said green screen, I was like, wait, what green screen?
Exactly. You don't know. It's just very well done. Well, let's talk about the play. Let's talk about this play. This play, I need to know more about this play. I'm hoping there's a script somewhere I can read. There seems to be some like dark undercurrents in this play. I don't know if you're listening to like what the kids are saying. It's like a Shakespearean Christmas story. I don't know. It's wild.
I was just too deeply immersed into what Jamie was going to be in the play. He's in this white, some kind of suit.
You thought he was gonna be an angel because he has like this white face.
Yeah, I was thinking angel, but it was so much better.
It really was. It was the gift we didn't know we needed until it actually happened.
And it just kept giving as the movie went on, because you think, oh, it'll just be like a blip. You know, he's in this. No, he's in this for a good minute.
This was very well executed. Jamie comes out. We hear like he's talking to his sister. His sister Becca's giving him like a pep talk, and it's really funny too. Really great scene. And then all of a sudden she does something, and we hear like this like blow up sound, and I'm like, what is going on? And he comes out, and he is a unicorn. The most majestic unicorn, or what did you call it? A
sparkle pony, if you will,
that we've seen. And it is hilarious, just the whole thing. And there's a little snafu with a confetti machine. And again, on the second viewing, we see that Emily says, I don't feel when Becca gives her the job of the confetti gun earlier in the movie, she's like, I feel like I'm not qualified for this. And she's not, because the confetti gun goes off and ruins the play.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, oh, she's not, but I was forgetting that Becca is the reason that it happens, because she basically knocks her with the giant candy cane.
Well, a proper confetti artist would know how to handle that situation, and Emily does not.
She's a little taken aback, because herein enters our favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, we have the conflict. Yeah. So all right. How do I say this? It didn't bother me that much. I will say we do have an issue where Jamie doesn't let Emily finish speaking, and so he starts assuming things, and I hate that. He sees her with the photographer and thinks something's going on. I hate these. The only reason I don't mind it is because it lasts very short. It's not like this goes on for like 15 minutes at the end of the film.
Or 2 months.
Or 2 months, yeah, or 2 months. It's a very short misunderstanding. So it didn't really bother me. Something had to happen, and we get some great lines from this as well.
Yeah, they have a conversation like right after.
Away. And that's why it doesn't bother me that much.
I mean, it's not fully resolved, obviously, but enough that, yes, we get this great conversation all while he is dressed like the unicorn, which makes it so much better. That's how great they are of actors, because he is dressed in this absurd way, yet I'm feeling all of the emotion. Like, it's not taking me out of it at all.
That's a great point. I mean, yeah, she says, and I think the real winning line for me is when she says, "You have no right to be angry with me." And
yeah, you broke up with me.
Yeah, and she's like, "Tell me what you want, Jamie. Just tell me what you want." And of course he can't. And
tell me what you really, really want.
No.
Oh
my goodness.
But
I love you.
Yeah, he can't tell her what he wants. And so she's
what
like,
he really wants.
You've been so caught up in pretending to be in love that you didn't realize that I never stopped.
Yeah.
Like being in love with you,
yeah.
which was another great line. And, because she's like, I've been falling back into this, and that he like was really so taken out of it, like really not even believing that she could still be in love with him. And so that part, like you could see it like kind of like click in his mind, like, wait, what do you mean by this? Like, what are you talking about? Because you're going away for your job. Like, it was not even on his radar that she could still be in love with him.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. And
that's where there's insecurity. I mean, that's insecurity to,
because to us, and to everyone, it's so obvious.
Especially to Sister Becca for saving the day.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, the conflict, it happens. Like I said, it doesn't bother me because it's so short.
The family overhears. So they're,
ooh.
Yeah, that's the big doozy.
But they understand. It's so great because it's not awkward at all. I mean, it's awkward in that moment, but when she's leaving, it's not. They're like, we still love you. You're still part of this family, that whole thing. And I'm thinking, why are you letting her go? Like, yes, there's some stuff with your son, obviously, but just, keep her in the guest room. Let's have her stay. Speaking of guest room, we haven't even talked about Jamie's room where she's staying. Set design was fantastic in this film throughout. Jamie's room where Emily's staying while she's there is done so beautifully. I mean, this is a writer's room. He's got, pictures of authors on the wall. He has that line about New Yorkers under the bed. Just it feels like this writer's room. I loved the little details in here, and even that photo of him playing chess as a boy. Like such awesome stuff there.
Yeah. No, I mean the house was beautiful. Yeah, set design was great. Even like I had notes about the play, like the set of the play that Becca's putting on. To me, I thought was so cute. Like it was so well done. Yeah, production design was Ali Tavasoli, but yeah, like beautiful job.
Yeah. And so Christmas morning comes around. Jamie wakes up late as per usual because he's addicted to sleeping pills, and
that's a dark undercurrent that they don't really address.
But little details, guys, little details. So he wakes up late, and it's super sad. The whole family's sad because Emily's not there, and I love this because they're everyone in the family is kind of acknowledging the grief of Emily not being a part of their lives anymore.
Yeah.
And they're being honest about it. Like I forget which movie it was, but in one of the movies, the mom's like, okay, guys, let's go eat. Let's not deal with, it was the Andrew Walker one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not deal with the grief that's happening. Let's go eat. But this one, they all acknowledge it. And I felt like that was a great way to do it. But I mean, Jamie kind of realizes what the mistake was, thanks to a talk with dear old dad. And we have...
And grandma. There's a great talk with grandma. Yeah.
And we have a great little car scene. A great wacky car scene.
Operation Go Get Emily back now.
It is.
Which I thought was really funny.
It was funny. The scene was funny.
They're playing the Home Alone music. Is it the Home Alone music?
I don't know. Probably. I can't talk about Home Alone music anymore. after
you are not qualified.
I'm not allowed. I'm not qualified for music anymore.
So it's a race to the train station, and man, I love it. And I saw a few people tweeting about it too. It was very reminiscent of Notting Hill, where the whole family gathers in the car to go after her. And, I've said it before. It's like one of my favorite things when there's like a race to get to the one that you love. It just is, it's exciting and it's romantic. And
of course, Grandmama has her mints. She needs to get her mints before like they race. And just, again, a little detail like it's so wacky. Like, I love it. I love it.
And we get this amazing, like, heartfelt speech
that Jamie wrote, because Jamie is a speechwriter, which we haven't mentioned, which is a great,
yeah.
We talk about, we're tired of just like business job and other business job. Now we get corporate
CEO, yeah.
But now we get something where it's a script writer for the governor of Illinois, and how awesome is that? Like, such a neat job. So appreciated that.
Yeah. And he has this great line. I mean, I know he's like a speechwriter, but
yes,
he's like, talking about all of his insecurities. And yeah, like, everything, like Grandma tells him all this stuff about life is messy. And that was like great lines where she's like, life isn't perfect. It's messy, but you have to find the beauty in the mess.
Yep.
And so true. So wonderful. And he's like, and what do I have to show for all of this? Like, all of this worry and like trying to be perfect, or, all this stuff. And he's like, the only thing I have to show for it is a heart that aches for you all the time.
Ooh. I know.
I mean, be still, my heart. I was not ready for a line like that. And I mean, just, it hit me. Like, this was so romantic. Just what a line.
And it was delivered well, superbly acted, and just this entire scene just beautifully done. And of course, after that, I mean, how could you not? You have to get a kiss after a line like that, right?
Well, really, the kiss comes after he's apologizing again. He's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you had to see me as a unicorn. Which then makes her laugh, and she snorts. This is like a thing in the movie.
Little details.
Yeah, the snort, which I appreciate, a good snort. And I have to say, this kiss.
Kind of a wet campfire?
Are you trying to make me snort? No, this kiss, I think it was kind of like teetering between the top two levels, but I pushed it up, and I'm giving this one a blazing inferno.
I think you're gonna give it a blazing inferno because they kept the camera on the side.
They did,
and that's gonna.
So I actually got to see the kiss. No chiss here, people. No chiss here. Tyler goes for it. He, with his kisses, and I appreciate his craft.
So this is a blazing inferno. So everyone wondering, blazing inferno. This is what that looks like. This is it.
It's not like, I think you could probably put it out with, a decent amount of water, but it qualifies as blazing inferno for sure.
I appreciate it. I'm no expert, obviously. I appreciated the multiple kisses. the multiple kisses there, and I did appreciate the camera kind of staying on that because I hate when they do that. And yeah, and we get that great line again from Becca, who is now starting a relationship with Tyler's friend who works.
Gina, yeah.
Again, there's so much we missed in this movie. We didn't even talk about.
You just have to watch this movie. But yes, wonderful inclusivity in the movie with Becca's character. I love how they just had that like interwoven with the movie. Like her character was wonderful. She's like raising a child on her own, and you know her storyline was incredible. And yeah, just every like the whole. It was just like a family affair, like we said. Like every character, you know, the parents they were like the cutest, like always like dancing in the kitchen. In the refrigerator.
Nope.
Lights.
I saw you look over here. No, do not do that. And yeah, and that's kind of, oh no, that's not where it ends, because then where does it end?
We're back to the jazz bar. I was hoping for another Andrew pop in, but
we don't get it. Andrew,
he wasn't there that night.
Jazz bar, comes in. And you know, the waiter sees them and immediately turns away because he knows, you know.
Yeah, it's a funny little callback to the waiter. But we get another kiss, which is a very sweet, I would say Sparks, you know, kiss there. It was very sweet. And yeah, just loved this movie.
If you can't tell, we absolutely love this movie. We honestly can't say enough good things about it. We've tried to say enough good things about it, but we can't.
I'm sure we fell short somewhere.
I feel like we missed so much. There's so much I want to talk about in this film, but we just can't. There literally is a lot.
Did we mention costuming? Yeah, we did.
We mentioned costuming.
I mean, wardrobe girls, you can dress me every day of my life.
Chunky sweaters? Give me some chunky sweaters.
Every day of my life, please dress me.
But yeah, I mean, Hallmark, you know, brought it, and they brought it great. And again, I will say this movie feels fresh. It feels like certified fresh. No, but it feels like a Hallmark movie for the next generation, and I'm extremely happy to see it, and I'm glad we have this. So congratulations to everyone that had any hand in this film, including the gaffer. Just wonderfully done. And that was
an unexpected Christmas.
It
wasn't unexpected to me. I expected greatness, and that is
totally exceeded.
And that is what they gave me.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. Much appreciated. Please remember to like, subscribe, thumbs up. Do people thumbs up things? Is that a thing anymore? The kids thumbs up?
Sure.
Give us a thumbs up. And please do remember to rate and review. That is so big and so helpful for us. You know, we're a small podcast, so all these little things mean a lot to us. So
yeah, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you just scroll all the way down.
Tell us what you think. Maybe you like our sweaters. Say you like our sweaters. You know, drop a little like.
Well, that's on YouTube. They can't see our sweaters on the podcast.
Imagine that we're wearing really cute sweaters and then talk about them. You can do that too.
Mine has snowflakes.
And mine has a Christmas
pixelated
kitten.
Snowflakes. And a snowman with a scarf.
Yeah, it's cute. Very cute. And also, you know, keep the messages coming in, guys. We love talking with you guys, and we love tweeting with you. We got some of our followers on the Twitters last night and had a great time. So much appreciated, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, much like Christmas cheer keeps Santa afloat in his sleigh, your messages keep us afloat.
I hate that. I love that so much, but that's actually very accurate. That is very accurate. So thank you guys very much, and we'll talk next time.
Thanks. Bye.